Hello, welcome. In this lecture, we will understand how exactly the Git works. There are mainly three components involved here. First thing is working directory, then staging area, and then local repository. And finally, you will push the code to remote repository, which is different from Git. But again, it will be connected to the Git and then you will be pushing it, either GitHub or GitLab. But we will focus on Git. Now, working directory is nothing but a folder where you will create your file, you will edit or you will delete the file, right? All those things that you will be doing is called working directory. And the next thing is staging area. It is like a waiting area. It will save the files that will be committed or included in the next commit. And then whatever the commits that you will do will be stored in the local repository. It is like a snapshot of your files. Now let us understand each of this practically. First thing is I will create one folder, that is working directory, right? Here earlier we were working on repository 1, repo 1, right? I will create some new folder now. I will call this folder name as JS programs. I will create some JavaScript programs. So now folder is created, right? You can create normal file also, there is no problem. I will create some JavaScript programs here. You can even create normal text file also, that's okay. Whichever file, it is fine. To better understand with respect to the industry standard, I will create some sample program here. Now I will open the Visual Studio Code and here I can open the folder. Now I will open this JS programs folder. Here I can create the file. Just I will create add.js, a program to add two numbers. I will write, for example, const a equal to 10, const b equal to 20, sum equal to a plus b, and then console.log sum equal to. So this is a sample program to add two numbers. This is a sample program, no need to worry about this code. You can even add a normal text file like earlier. Just for understanding purpose, for industry standard illustration, I am using this program. So then I can test this program, terminal, and let me run. Okay, sum is displayed, 10 plus 20, 30. So this program is working. So just for illustration purpose, this program. So now we have created one file in the folder now, right? In the JS programs folder, right? This add.js file is created. So now I will open the terminal. In your Windows, you open the command prompts, open the terminal, and you need to come to that particular folder here, JS programs folder. Now this is a normal folder. To make it as a Git folder, you need to run one command. So now you need to come to this particular folder, either open your command prompt or terminal based on your operating system. Now the file is created here. You either open the terminal in your Mac or command prompt in your Windows and go to this particular folder. And then now this folder is a normal folder. To convert this into Git folder, you need to run one command called git init. This will create a hidden folder. If you want to observe any hidden folders on Windows, you will be having some options here to enable or view the hidden folder. On Mac, you can press here shift command dot. It will show hidden folders. Shift command and dot. So now there is no hidden folder. Now if I run this command git init, it will show initialized empty git repository in this particular folder, right? Now you can see this hidden folder. Now you can see this hidden folder .git. This folder will be created. This is like a brain which tracks everything. All the changes will be tracked in this folder. If you don't want to view this folder, again press shift command dot. On Windows, you need to just check here in your folder settings. You can hide the hidden folders or view the hidden folders. You can change that. Shift command dot. Now again I can use this. Here various files will be there. This will be tracking all the changes to all the files that you are doing here, right? Now this is considered as a Git folder. Now you can even add some more files here. For example, I can add one text file also here. For example, on Windows also you can just right click and create a text file here. I will just add touch notes.txt. So now this file is added, right? Open with text editor, testing file, line 1, something. I will add some sample content. So now there are two files here. So now this part is ready. We created this working directory. Now we need to add the files to the staging area. For that, you need to run this command, git add file name. You can add selected files by providing the file name, or if you want to add all the files, you need to provide dot. For example, here git add, here I need to provide the file name. If I provide dot here, it will add all the files. It means right now we have two files only. It will add both the files. Now I will just add one file, add.js. add.js. So this file is added now. The another file, notes.txt, it is not added to this staging area, not yet, because we just specified one file name. Now if you check with the command git status, see it will show here changes to be committed. We have added this file, so this file will be committed, and these two are untracked files. So now this is the file which is added to the staging area, which means this particular area which will be committed in the next commit to the local repository, and these are the untracked files. It means which is not yet added to the staging area, which is only available here in the working directory. Here notes.txt is the file that we have added later on, and this ds store is a temporary file which is created by the operating system, which is only available in Mac operating system, right? Whenever you visit some folder, this temporary file will get created. If you want to ignore this file, then you can add one file called git ignore, and you can add all the files which you want to ignore in that file. For example, in your program there are 100 files, but you want to ignore 50 files, right? In that case, you can create one file. For example, I will create one file called touch.git. Right now there is no file called git ignore here. It should be exactly this name, .git ignore. Now this file is created. You open this file in some text editor and then add all the files that you want to ignore, right? And save it. Now if I check git status, you can see this file is ignored. Only this file will be considered now, git ignore. This ds store is not considered anymore. Similarly, you can add, let us say you want to ignore 100 files, then what you can do is all the file names you can add here, so that it will get ignored. It will not be moved to the next phase, that is staging area, local repository, and finally this remote repository as well, right? If you don't want to move some of the files or you want to ignore, then you can create a file called git ignore and you can add those files there. Now we have added one file, we need to add one more file, or in fact two more files, right? Either you can specify the file name one by one, git add, you can specify the file name just like we have specified here, add.js, right? But if you specify dot, then it will add all the remaining files. Now it should add these two files, git add dot. Now if I check git status, all these three files are changes to be committed. Now it means it is moved to this particular area, staging area, which means when you commit, whatever the file which is available here, which will be committed to the local repository. Before that, if I want to set a certain username and certain email for committing purpose, then I can set here. With this one we have already discussed, git config -- local. Local means only considered for this particular repository. User dot name I will mention as test user 1. Similarly, I can set email, git config -- local user dot email test user1 at gmail.com, something like this. Now this username and email will be used in the record for committing purpose. Otherwise, if you don't provide this, whatever the global setting is available in your system, that username and email will be used for committing purpose based on the global setting. Since I do not wanted to use global name and email, I have set some different username and email here. So in the log it will show this name and this email now. Now if I commit now, git commit -m, I will specify the first commit. Now this commit is done. Now if you check git log with this particular command, you can see here when the commit is done, who is the author. This is a test user one we have set up here, and the test user one email. If you don't do this setup, whatever the setting is already available in your system globally, that username and that user email will be considered. This is our comment that we have provided here while during the commit, right? It means now this commit is done. It means it is moved to here local repository. Then it can be pushed to the remote repository, which we have already looked earlier as well. And we need to create a remote repository in the GitHub or GitLab or even Bitbucket. There are various platforms, and then we can push it. So right now we will focus only on the Git. Later we will look into this remote repository. Now there are some more things that you can do here. For example, if I run the command git diff, there is no difference it is showing. It means there is no change done after this commit. Now if I go here and I will make some changes here. For example, I will add the another line here, line number 2, and for this JS file I don't make any changes. Now if I run this command git diff, now you can see. So now once I run git diff, it will show the changes that has been done after the previous commit. We have added this new line here, testing line 2, right? This is the earlier one, only one line was available earlier. Now if I check git status, it will show this is the modified file which has a changes not staged for commit. It means we have not yet added this file. So now once we made the changes to this file, what we have done is we have made a changes in the working directory. To commit the changes, we need to again add to the staging area. For that you need to again run git add. You can specify the file name, or you can add dot. Dot means all the file which have been changed will be added. Now if I check git status, this is the file which will be committed. Now if we commit, if I check git commit -m second commit, now you can observe here this commit is done. It means it is moved to this particular area, the change, new change as well. Now if I check git log, it will show here 2 commits. This is the first commit and this is the second commit, and this will also show user and email, user email, right? And now the latest commit, the second commit, is pointing to the main. If we push now to the GitHub or GitLab, the latest change will get pushed because we have already moved the latest change to this particular local repository. So now let us do one thing. Let me create a repository in the GitHub account and let us try to push this change. Now I will create this new repository, test repo 1, test repo 2, or I can call it as test repo 2, and I will create the repository. Now this repository is created, right? Now initialization, adding, commit and all we have already done. Now you need to set this remote origin. You can set this. It is using SSH. Okay, this is a SSH URL. The SSH key I have already added, so it should work now. Let us see. I have run this. If I check git remote -v, it will point to this particular test repository too. Now I can run this command git push u origin main. Git push -u origin main. So permission denied. I think we need to add the SSH key first because it is a different repository. Firstly, let me start SSH agent. So eval this command, eval within the double quote this particular command, it will start the SSH agent. Then I can add the SSH key, SSH-add, then provide the path to your SSH private key. My SSH key is present in this particular file, my SSH private key. So I will copy this path and paste here, and passphrase I need to add. The passphrase is something that we created while adding the SSH key. Okay, it is telling identity added. Now let me try to push the code. Git push if a new origin main. So now you can see it has pushed to main branch. If I go to GitHub repository, now you can see this is the test user one, that is the user that we created, and it is pushed here. Here whatever the line that we have added is here, and in this file we have added some JavaScript code, that's also you can see here. Now we have understood how exactly Git works. It works in three different stages. One is working directory, staging area, and then local repository. And we have also pushed the code finally to the remote repository, which is on the GitHub. We will continue our discussion in the next lecture. Thank you for watching.